I'd say both professionally and personally, this has been the greatest year for both Mom and I, and the adventure continues.
Oh, what's new with you?
It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, if you're old or young. Everybody, every now and then, has got to have some fun. So turn up the music, turn up the juice, just put me in the spotlight, turn me loose. You better hold on tight, this country's gonna rock tonight. This country's rocking to the beat of a brand new drum. Back in Kentucky where I come from, they love to hear that old guitar strum. This country's rockin', jump back and let the bad boys play. Everywhere across the USA, this country's rockin' all the way.
We don't feel real talkative yet. Can I just say this for the record? I love my hair. I love my makeup. Okay. Thank you. May 6th, I got married to the man in my life. And I wish every woman in the world could find a guy like this. It still can happen.
Lord, I love this man that you have given me. Let me be a channel, strength and love from thee.
Larry Strickland was the first guy I met when I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and we had been together for 10 outrageous, and I mean outrageous years before this wedding.
I call my mom the queen of everything because I thought she had it all, and then along came Larry, and it was wonderful because now she has someone to share it with.
It takes three. It takes three.
Lord, it takes you and him and me.
My own daddy died before Y and I started really happening in country music. So I had Ken Stilts, who's not only our manager, I mean, he goes far beyond being our manager. He's my best friend on this planet. I had Ken give me away.
Will you, Larry Strickland, have this woman, Naomi Judd, whose hand you hold to be your wedded wife, and solemnly promise that you will loyally fulfill your obligations as her husband to protect her, honor her, love her, and cherish her in adversity as well as in prosperity, and keep yourself unto her alone so long as you both shall live?
I will.
And will you, Naomi Judd, have this man, Larry Strickland, whose hand you hold, to be your wedded husband, and solemnly promise that you will be unto him a tender, loving, and true wife through sunshine and shadow alike, and be faithful to him so long as you both shall live?
I will.
God bless you both. Larry, you may now salute your bride.
Everybody said that the wedding was a storybook wedding, and it was. It was like a fairy tale.
I felt like a royal princess, and Larry was my prince.
Well, thanks. The girl in town designed this wedding. It's a party! What else? Oh, you and I had
We're closer than ever.
unprecedented success, you know, with the #1 records and the platinum albums and the concerts and all that.
And I got a new truck.
You got a... It's life's simple pleasures. We got farms.
Bought the farm.
Yeah. I bought a farm 5 miles down the road from Wynonna.
8. I counted 8.
Is it 8 miles? Ever since I can remember, owning a piece of land was the ultimate success story to me. I'm not interested in big cars or...
You hate limos.
But to have a chunk of land, especially in our business, which is probably the most fickle business of all, to have something that is actually there beneath your feet for you to come to when you come in off the road.
And with this farm, it's the most consistent thing that we have. I mean, it's always there, and
You got to have somewhere to go when you get off that bus.
What would you say is looming on the horizon?
probably
Time.
I know I'll be with you, which I'm looking very forward to. More time with you.
Oh.
I'm going to get my own bus, though.
Well, as far as our album goes, everything about us is expressed in our music, you know, our personalities, our lifestyles, our values,
Our hormones.
everything that we're going through at that particular time. So it's only logical, you know, and to be expected that every album is going to be a little bit different, because as we change with life circumstances, it's going to come out in the album.
And as I mature.
And don't hold your breath.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite.
I think Judd music is undergoing some really important changes.
I would swim
It's hard to find songs that I'm going to sing every day of my life, you know, and our songs, we want them to be as timeless as possible.
I can't stand in the corner anymore and not speak out on some of the things I've seen going on in the country.
We're real fortunate that people, in other words, know that they're going to get certain things from the Judds. You know, we speak about family, we speak about hope, and we're also two different people. I mean, there are some times when I want to sing about something. I mean, my ideas are changing, you know, my views on life, and so I'm wanting to get more into doing other types of songs. Mom's starting to songwrite, you know, and get into that.
And our concerns for things in the world are coming out more and more in our songs.
You know, what better way than for her to write them and for me to sing them, because she knows me better than anybody else in the world.
Brent Mayer, our producer, and Don Potter, our guitar man, and the two of us, Mom and I, spend about 9 months in the studio. Don and Brent both are responsible for helping us to pick songs. They help us to put down on vinyl those Judd tunes.
Every song we do has got a story behind it, you know, how it was written. And Brent and Don, then the two of us will sometimes work up songs in the studio, just right on the spot. And he'll call me up and say, you know, stop what you're doing and come over and let's work the song up. If it doesn't groove with just the guitar and the two voices, then we're not interested in it.
The boys make the noise.
Don't stop.
Naomi.
What was that?
Oh.
What was that hit I heard coming from
Great
this room?
singer.
You know, with our family harmony, there were the basic ingredients. You know, we have Brent, of course, he's a genius in his spare time, and Don Potter. The four of us, we have our foundation.
Just the idea. Thing called Born to Be Blue.
Uh-huh.
You weren't
And,
there. It was just, yeah, us two. We went in.
But he called me
Yeah.
last night and
Yeah, I called
played
him
it for
last
me
night.
on the
It was
phone.
a great idea.
Oh, it's sick.
Made my night.
But
We
anyway,
recorded it. We're gonna put it out someday.
well, I was so excited. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong, piano. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I just don't know.
You know, It's like the studio is a garden where Wynonna and I grow, and Brent and Don sort of...
And you need to be weeded.
Brent and Don sort of water us, you know. They are sunshine and our water.
That's a very lovely
Well, I
story.
mean, no, it's hard to express how important Brent and Don are. I like the tempo.
Born to be loved, born to be kissed, born to find a woman to show me what I miss.
One more time.
Was I born to be blue, born just to cry, born to be alone till the day I die?
What do you think?
Very good.
You will rock this thing.
I think it's
till
gonna
you
be
can't
great,
walk.
Now, we've been looking for an up-tempo like this for a long time, huh?
Yes.
This would be very good on stage.
Roll tape.
Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe I just don't know. Will I ever fall in love and never have to worry that I'm falling all alone? Maybe it's true, I was just born to be blue.
Okay, now Naomi comes in the next verse.
Maybe it's true, I was just born to be blue.
Yes.
Going a little bit
Yeah,
more.
that's great.
Let's keep it going.
That's great.
They say everybody's got someone, sweet somebody to love. It might be fate or destiny, maybe written in the stars above. But I can't help but wonder, after all that I've been through, maybe my baby's nowhere to be found. I was just born to be blue. Just to live on heartache streets. Was I born to go to bed each night, cry myself to sleep? And somebody out to help me, give me some kind of clue. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right, but don't tell me I was born to be blue. Say nobody dies from a heartache. You can't drown in your own tears. Who wants to live in this world alone when minutes turn into years? So I'd rather go down the lead, suffer a heartache or two. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right, but don't tell me I was born to be blue. Born to be blue, born just to cry, born to be alone till the day I die. Somebody tell me, was I born to be loved, born to be kissed, born to find a woman to show me what I miss?
A lot of people don't realize how much preparation and hard work is involved in putting together that show. We work literally weeks to get our show to where we can take it out into the world and present it to our audiences.
Yeah, but if someone will preset me on Let Me Tell You About Love, because I'm probably going to go over to Mark, because he's doing an electric guitar thing on that.
Mom and I are real proud of our lighting, and we're real proud of our sound. In order for it to be the best that it can possibly be, it takes a lot of organization to get everything just right when that curtain goes up.
Say what, Bruce?
There's a lady with a baby at the back door asking for you.
It must be your wife, maybe, huh?
Teamwork is the name of the game. Y and I are the ones that you hear on the radio. We're the ones that you might see out there on that stage. But it takes teamwork. It takes so many different people to put us together. We work with a talented lady named Chris Dunbar.
She comes forward and you just back off just a bit, and then you come together at the end. Keep that. That's real nice. Just a bit.
And she helps us arrange our set list in a flow that...
Well, has a beginning, middle, and an end, and she gives us direction.
She needs to remember to do the dramatic turn, because a couple of times I had to go up and go, "Hey, you, it's me." We sit down, we look at the songs that we now need to incorporate, our new album product, that we need to incorporate into the current show. We have to shift, as she was saying. You want to build people up, because a show, and 1 hour show, we want it to have expressions of the different type of things you go through in your own life. You know, you want to have boogie tunes, you want to have feel-good, happy tunes. You need
comedy.
You need to have insightful, sorrowful songs, too, because that's part of life. The roar of the grease paint, the smell of the crowd. But we have these songs, and we have a stage, and we don't have a band.
Oh! Do you feel like doing the show? Okay, come on.
I have a garage. Come on, we can practice. My mom will make outfits. We could be a band, Odell. We share the everyday experiences that you would be having with your family if you were home. We have a problem, because we have all these #1 songs.
It's a good problem.
And we only get to do an hour show, maybe 70 minutes if they're not watching the clock real hard. But
That's
we have
whether you
to
talk or
put
not.
all the old hits in the songs, because I realize that people want to hear Mama He's Crazy because maybe they had their first date and they fell in love. And they want to hear Grandpa, that's the most requested song. And then we have to also have a lot of up-tempo songs to give the show a balance. And every time that we have to make up a new set list, the problem's getting worse. And we don't want to leave out a song. We don't want to disappoint somebody out there.
But you
what do
can't
you do?
please everybody, right?
So we'll just invite them over to your house.
Thank you.
Good idea. You can just kind of vamp underneath it, just keep playing that. What I'll do is walk over, since we just finished Rockin' with the Rhythm right here. Well, what I want to do is ask them if they actually know their great-great-great-grandparents' names. You know what I mean? I doubt very few people out there will actually know anything about their great-great-great-grandparents. And then when I get a response, I'll say, do any of you all out there know your great-great-great-grandparents' names? I'll say, this next song is a true story. That's what country music is all about. Real people and real life stories. But I wrote this about Wynonna's great-great-great-grandparents.
Meanwhile, they're up like getting their beverages.
I'm thinking it through. I'm thinking.
No.
Don Swiss came over to my house one afternoon, walked in, and I had all these prepared song ideas, possibilities, to keep from royally embarrassing myself. He walked in and spotted a picture, an old daguerreotype, I think you call it, up on my wall of the Judds taken in the late 1800s, and said, "Who are these people?" There are about, I think there's 13 or 14 of them in the picture. And I said, without even thinking of it, I said, "Those are my guardian angels." And he said, "Whoa, tell me about this picture." And he just knocked the legal pad and all the freshly sharpened pencils off the table and said, "Come on, talk, talk, talk." And the song absolutely wrote itself. I'm just going to say this is a story about our great-great-great-grandparents who lived a very, very simple life at the turn of the century. And
We call them our guardian angels, and I think you're real lucky in life because you may not always know where you're going if you do know where you come from. Something like that.
100-year-old photograph stares out from a frame, and if you look real close, you'll see her eyes are just the same. I've never met them face to face, but I still know them well from the stories my dear grandma would tell. Elijah was a farmer, he knew how to make things grow, and Fanny vowed she'd follow him wherever he would go. As things turned out, they never left their small Kentucky farm, but he kept her fed, and she kept him warm. They're my guardian angels, and I know they can see every step I take. They are watching over me. I might not know where I'm going, but I'm sure where I come from. They're my guardian angels, and I'm their special one. Sometimes when I'm tired, I feel Elijah take my arm. He says, keep a going, hard work never did a body harm. And when I'm really troubled and I don't know what to do, Fanny whispers, just do your best, we're awful proud of you. They're my guardian angels, and I know they can see every step I take. They are watching over me. I might not know where I'm going, but I'm sure where I come from. They're my guardian angels, their special one. A 100-year-old photograph stares out from a frame, and if you look real close, you'll see our eyes are just the same.
This is good for a first run through.
I feel real fortunate to get to work with my mom because we both know each other so well. We know each other's fears, our insecurities, we know each other's strong points. And no matter what's going on during a rehearsal, we lock in. And she's a great person to be around because I think we feed off each other.
All these pesky flies around here, they're everywhere.
One thing's for sure, Mom and I always manage to have a good time.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Have any of you girls out there ever had the blues?
Me, pick me.
Well, my mama done tried to tell me about the blues. Didn't you, Mama?
Oh, honey. I tried to tell you about the birds and the bees and the blues.
She did. But she said, some things you just gotta find out for yourself. So she wrote me this song.
I wrote it just for you. See?
And I'm mad. His letter came this morning. See,
while she sings.
said he's found somebody who reminds him of me. He He says he needed some space, but that might be the case. It wasn't even man enough to tell me to my face. I got the rompin', stompin'. Start over, guys, I'm sorry.
Rompin', stompin', bad news blues.
I got the idea when I was out walking on the road one afternoon, and it's something that a fan had said to me in a coffee shop in a motel the week before about how men can make you the happiest, they can also make you the saddest, and how sometimes they got blonde hair and they drive a Corvette, then they got black hair and they drive a pickup truck, but you know, it all boils down to the same old
pain,
trouble, you know. And we've never done a blues song like that before, and I felt like it was time. I felt like we could get away with it, maybe. I knew this was not going to be a typical little positive message, fun Judd song.
The women love this song. You can just see them elbowing each other and going, yeah, I've had that happen to me, or I can relate. I think every woman raised their hand and said, thank you very much, that song's for me.
I got the rompin', stompin', bad news blues. Stole my money, stole my time. When he stole my heart, honey, he really crossed the line. I made you feel the need, sent out an ABB. Hotel that fever box to bring it on back to me. I got the rompin', stompin', bad news blues. Come tonight, I'm stepping out, sing and dance, gonna shake and shout. Forget about old what's his name? You know that you can play this game. Never it takes to lose. These are rompin', stompin', bad news blues. A man full of trouble, girl, that ain't nothing new. We ain't found nothing better, and until the day we do, sister, friend, be wise, just realize, stay away from ones who'll do you wrong and tell you lies. They'll give you the rompin', stompin', bad news blues. That's right, they'll give you the rompin', stompin', bad news blues.
The first night that Wynonna ever did Love Can Build a Bridge live on stage, there was an electricity in the air.
I've grown to love the taste of hairspray on my food. Always.
We had our church choir backing us up, and at that moment I thought, there really is something incredible about music. I felt as though we could conquer the world.
What do you want?
5 minutes.
Mom and I always look forward to going on stage with a brand new song. We rely so much on the audience, and there are those nights when we'll go out and sing a brand new song for the first time, and the audience basically sets the stage.
I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand. But love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
What is it about a song that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and a song that doesn't strike a chord, you know, on your heartstrings? It's one of those songs that I will sing for the rest of my life, and every time I sing it, I will sing it like it's my last time to sing it.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, 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 anything. Keep believing in the power.
And Love Can Build a Bridge, when we worked into the show, it was perfect because it spoke about everything that we stand for, everything we feel and believe. And I really got the feeling that the audience got that through seeing it. I mean, like you said, the audience really, really grooved with the song.
So we decided to do something really special and unique with the video for the song.
I knew it was going to take a very grandiose, special environment.
So what does she do? She puts us out in the middle of a desert.
Arizona.
Yes.
Follow me.
We decided that Sedona, Arizona was the perfect setting for Love Can Build a Bridge.
So we decided to pack cameras, guitars, assorted friends and loved ones, our crew, all off to Red Rock Country, where we were to have an unforgettable experience. Boy, it was a real eye-opener. We had no earthly idea what we were getting ourselves into.
Yes, folks, the Judds are now
3D.
3D.
Is this your idea?
It was my idea, actually. This whole thing really was my idea. All the time that I have off, I just sit in my room and think up these things.
It
Yeah,
did
well,
not,
how
did
did-
not. This is a guy right here. Tim, he did it, he did it. Tim.
Well, no one seems to be too happy with the idea after a couple of weeks of shooting.
A couple of months ago, Ken Stilts, who manages the Judds, came to us with a kind of a unique idea, which was to do the very first 3D music video for network television. Country music in general has a sort of an undeserved reputation for not really being a technologically advanced, cutting-edge kind of medium. And we thought, this is perfect, a chance to do a first. It should open a few eyes and get people talking a little bit, because it hasn't been done before. There's never really been a full-on 3D music video piece.
It takes 5 hours to be a natural beauty. In a car into New York City, did an interview for VH1 at noon in New York City. That was our second hotel, second state. And then we flew from LaGuardia to Phoenix Airport, and then got in a van and drove 2 hours here.
Home is where the Judds are.
Bring a few of those chairs around over here for me.
Is this the guitar mode? Close-up mode.
Okay, we're going to start with some close-ups, eh?
Well, I don't have my
You're gonna
jewelry
have
on
to
yet.
Okay, we're
The
laughing
object
here.
is to,
Excuse me?
act natural on this ledge.
Everyone's had the willies once or twice. Naomi, who's not fond of heights, has bitten her lower lip and climbed out into some pretty precarious positions to get some shots for us. So, I mean, everybody's got a little circus mentality going here now at this point. Death-defying acts at every turn.
This is the most important man in my life. This is Fred. He's a professional mountain climber. He's been assigned to me. I have incredible vertigo, and I'm getting ready to go out on one of the peaks.
Mama, it's not good to go down and up. You remember? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't you feel it's worse if you go back down?
I called my family doctor and told him what we were doing, you know, and said, "Is there anything you can take for vertigo?" But he said, "Well, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Fire that director."
He's out of there. Bud, you're out of here.
All of a sudden, here we were, up on mountain peaks, no facilities whatsoever. I mean, no running water, no room service, nothing. Out in the middle of nowhere with this big entourage of people, hauling our equipment up mountainsides, rigging cranes out over canyons. It was wild.
We kind of enjoy filmmaking in a crazy sort of way. It gives us a chance to try something new, and we get to preserve a unique, one-of-a-kind performance on film for all time. Some of our fans comment to us how much they enjoy watching our videos because they can watch them again and again, which is great.
Hopes are sinking. Let me show you what love means.
Did you see her standing there with her guitar, the neck was sticking out like this, and I'm standing right there. All she had to do when Bud hollered a direction at her was go, "What?" And I'm out of there.
I mean, we're not just trying to juggle 3D here. We've got two animals that I wouldn't exactly say are housebroken. The marimba, the eagle, with its 7.5-foot wingspan, is a thing to behold. When he doesn't want to perform, he kind of hangs upside down like a bat, and you just wait for him to get the energy up to fly again.
He was molting and not doing much flying.
He looked great while he was molting, but when they molt, they don't fly, and so we had this very stationary object.
Mom and I loved working with Marambo. She was a beautiful predator not too far removed from the wilds of Africa. She only behaved when she wanted to, which, of course, I can relate to.
Every day seems to be a different set of circumstances for the Judds, but this was an unusual set of circumstances. You know, even though we were in this remote location and away from all modern conveniences, we really had the time of our life. The African martial hawk that has a 7-foot wingspan, and they had it on a branch right next to my head, and they feed it. The trainer feeds it baby chicks, so it had all these baby chick feeds hanging out its mouth.
Chewing and be like flapping around.
And Jeff was running around. Lift up your shirt. His little white chicken body, he was running around in front. Every time he'd have to go in front of this big bird, he'd go. He was eyeing you.
And our wolf has been fun as well. Wolves, we've discovered, having never worked with wolves before, very high-strung. And although they look like dogs, they're not as nice as dogs, and sometimes they don't want to behave either. The wild animal handlers that we have basically just said, "Hey, we'll bring the animals, and if they feel like doing it, they'll do it."
Every day out on location in a splendid site like this with our family and our friends is like a working vacation. This place...
I'm sorry.
This place is filled with such incredible power. The New Agers say there's got energy vortexes here. We just have amazing strength.
Oh, yeah, Jerry.
Are my hands okay, Norma?
How many days did this take? A week and a half or something? To do this video, which is going to be, what, 4 minutes long? 5 minutes, yeah. You know, and you have to... I guess it's kind of like doing an album in the studio because you're in the studio 6 to 8 months, you know, for one album. And it takes a lot of time. But the music is what grounds us. I mean, we can be up on that cliff up there, you know, out in the middle of the canyon here, and somehow I'm okay because I have my guitar, my mom, and our music, you know, so you're willing to almost do anything or go anywhere, obviously, as you can see now.
It was easy for everybody to stay in a good mood and have a lot of fun because of the beautiful weather and the spectacular scenery.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet.
This song is an extremely special song, to put it mildly. It just really came through me. We went on the road, and I wrote all the words and called a friend of ours, John Jarvis, and asked him if he had time to help me work on the music. But I have to give credit to another guy, too. There's a good songwriter in Nashville named Paul Overstreet.
Love can build a bridge.
And Paul came over to our house one night to have dinner. We didn't do any songwriting, but he said something to me. I had a picture of the Grand Canyon on my refrigerator door, and he said, the only way you can get across these chasms in life is a bridge, and love is a bridge.
Don't you think it's time? And this song, to me, was so sincere from Mom. It was one of the most profound and sensitive things I'd ever heard come from you.
I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand.
I remember being in the studio, being totally, first of all, blown away by the song. It's one of the best songs I've ever heard. You know, if I hear that song on the radio, I'm gonna turn it up. And then I realized my mother wrote this song, so obviously there's a connection there because we have a lot of the same beliefs and feelings. And it's one of the finest things I've ever been a part of.
Love can build a bridge.
You've got to have hope, and you can always find a way with love. It's what my heart had in mind all along.
So exactly what are we going to do now?
You're going up to remember where we were with the Eagle? One more helicopter
The
shot.
mesa.
Gee, it's been so long. What are you going to have us doing?
Farmer.
Is this where, like, Mom's head explodes?
It's the scene where you turn into the thing.
Yeah.
Godzilla comes back.
Hiking up a mountainside looking like this, and we passed these two campers.
They're looking at us like, oh, so this is the Judds when they go camping.
We're going to be doing some aerial work. The girls are, even as we speak, muscling their way up a rocky trail to get into position for a helicopter shot.
Tigers and bears, oh my! I have to stay on them all the time, you know. It's like
And maybe it's
not
better
like...
to pick an altitude.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or I'll do my best to just flat turn it around. We'll get that skidding motion, but I'll try to flat turn it around.
We got to do some aerial shooting, which was the first for us. There's so much to see that we wanted people to actually get an idea of what Mom and I felt as we were standing up on those peaks.
Need to put an elevator.
If I never get to do another video again, this video added new life to what we're doing. You know, it inspired me in a way that I never really thought that could happen.
I actually was there. Larry, my husband, was there. Our best friends were there. The people that we work most closely with, even some of their family members were there.
The people on this video, the choirs from our church, I mean, they're like our neighbors. I think of all the songs that we've ever done, this one, for some reason, has brought a lot of people together.
I must say that it was grueling, but it was a blast. Of course, Mom and I try to have fun no matter where we go. Mom and I have this understanding that no matter what happens in this business, good or bad, that we always try to keep our sense of humor.
I just needed to show you the spirit of cooperation among this incredible family crew of ours. I'm wearing white, and I wore a black brassiere today. So they told us to go change clothes. So Gina and I changed underwear. So here we are behind the bushes, changing underwear, and we look up, and yes, there are 3 fans.
It was like back there, I mean, the boob bomb had gone off.
And this guy right here, in case you didn't recognize him, this is the best hairdresser in his price range in the business. Mr. Earl Cox, take a bow.
This is our associate producer, a very cold-blooded little guy, very tight with dollars.
This is my husband, Larry. He speaks 30 words a day, so watch out. He's only said 3 today.
I mainly came for the food. A lot of free food here.
See, that's lunch right there.
This is lunch?
That's catered lunch in Arizona, Sedona.
Most people have no idea of what goes into making a video, how much attention to detail is necessary. Cameras are zipping around, you've got marks to hit, lights to watch out for.
Oh, my belt's bigger than yours. My belt's bigger than yours.
Is that one of those things you won mud wrestling in?
No, this is like the World Federation of, we're a tag team in our spare time.
All the things that Wynonna and I have seen and experienced over these incredible last 7 years of our career had moved me to write a song about it. But how in the world do you convey in a 3-minute song these deep, complex feelings? I wanted to convey to people the things that I've seen going on in America and my firm belief that each one of us as an individual has a say-so in what happens.
We've come up with some wonderful footage, and hopefully Sedona looks great, the girls look great. We're proud to have been part of this project. It has something positive to say, it has a heart.
Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
I think that, well, the next video will have to be in 4D.
There's an ancient Indian legend about a boy and his grandfather who by night would watch over their kinsmen in the form of an eagle and a wolf. Wynonna and I really are proud to be able to share it with you. So put on those cute little 3D glasses and get ready, because a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Setsui, dies Jigon Hassan Khan Lit. Lasset Shirosh Pausende. Ich Jashi Tin Lao, Dinel In.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand that love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
देखूं दाल्सो बल्लों दोले
Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, if you're old or young. Everybody, every now and then, has got to have some fun. So turn up the music, turn up the juice. Just put me in the spotlight and turn me loose. You better hold on tight, this country's gonna rock tonight. This country's rocking to the beat of a brand new drum. Back in Kentucky where I come from, they love to hear that old guitar strum. This country's rockin', jump back and let the bad boys play. Everywhere across the USA, this country's rockin' all the way. You might ride a horse, drive a Porsche, or cruise in limousine. Eat caviar with champagne or cornbread with your pinto beans. But there's one thing in which we all agree: we love our country music like the Queen loves tea. Woo! What a lovely